With training camp just getting underway, I'm going to give my early AFC playoff predictions. I just wrote a blog about this yesterday. You can check it out on hashmarksports.com. But here are my predictions as of right now. At the 1 seed, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Their problem in the regular season last year was really just receivers dropping passes and not having a ton of help in the receiving core. But they went out and drafted the fastest receiver in combine history in Xavier Worthy, and picked up Hollywood Brown from the Cardinals. And they of course already have Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, and Travis Kelce. So this offense should be loaded. Their defense should still be good even without Snead. And I think they have a good enough regular season to get the bye in a weak AFC West. Winning the AFC East and getting the 2 seed, I have the New York Jets. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this pick, but I'm in love with the Jets going into this season. People forget that Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs before getting hurt, and that the Jets might have had the best defense in the league last year. And they went and got Hassan Reddick, who, if he can get back to his 2022 ways, can make this defense even more dominant. Their biggest thing they needed to do was improve their O-line, and they did that. They got Tyron Smith, John Simpson, and Morgan Moses, as well as drafting Olu Fashanu with their 11th overall pick. I think they're going to be really, really good this year. At 3, I have the defending AFC North champions, the Baltimore Ravens. I know the Ravens lost a ton of talent both on offense and on defense, but their defense was deep enough last year that I think they're going to still be pretty good. I love the draft pick of Nate Wiggins at the end of the first round, and I think Derrick Henry is going to flourish with this offensive system. If he could stay healthy, this Ravens offense is going to be so dominant. I think it's going to be a close race with them and the Bengals, but ultimately I have the Ravens getting the 3rd seed. Rounding out the division champions, I have the Texans here at 4. The Texans are such a hyped team going into next season, and I do think a lot of it is warranted, but to an extent they are somewhat overrated. Stroud was of course phenomenal last year in his rookie year, but we have seen some sophomore slumps from quarterbacks from time to time. But when you could take a playoff team that won their division last year and add guys like Danielle Hunter and add guys like Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon, you're going to be in a good spot. They're young and they're in a tough division with a lot of great young quarterbacks, but ultimately I think they win that division and get the 4th seed. For the first wildcard spot at the 5 seed, I have the Miami Dolphins. The biggest losses for them this offseason is really just Xavier Howard and Jerome Baker. They just brought Emmanuel Ogbah back today. They picked up guys like Kendall Fuller and Jordan Poyer, which is going to greatly help their secondary with no Howard. And their offense is going to be phenomenal again, but they also added OBJ and Jonnu Smith to add to this offense. I think they're once again one of, if not the best offense in the league, and if their defense can stay healthy and play good, I think they can maybe win the division, but I have them at the bye here. At the 6th seed, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. People are really overlooking Joe Burrow going into this year. Of course, he's been banged up for a lot of his career, but when he's been healthy, he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They lost defensive guys like DJ Reader and Awuzie, as well as some of their offensive threats like Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd. But they managed to hold on to T. Higgins in a hectic offseason, and they still have Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, of course. They picked up Gesicki to help with the receiving core at tight end, and Trent Brown for their O-line. I once again think this is going to be a really tight race with them and the Ravens, but I think the Ravens barely edge them out. And at the last seed, I have the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is too good, and Sean McDermott is too good of a head coach for them not to make the playoffs. I just think they're going to be in a really tough division with the Dolphins and the Jets. And they lost so many of their perennial players. On offense, they lost Mitch Morse, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. On defense, they lost Poyer, Hyde, White. But at the end of the day, they still have Josh Allen. There's definitely worse receiving replacements than Keon Coleman, MVS, and Curtis Samuel. And they picked up former Chiefs safety Mike Edwards to help with their secondary, losing Poyer and Hyde. But I think they barely made the playoffs here. Let me know what problems you got with my list in the comments, and I'm going to do the NFC here real soon.